Would you please stand for the presentation of honors and the national anthem by the 98th Army Band from Fort Rucker, Alabama. The band is directed by Chief Warrant Officer James G. Shope. There are several people that I want to introduce. All of the individuals on the platform will be introduced during the ceremony. His brother, Dr. Jake Nichols and Mrs. Nichols. Bill's niece, Mrs. John Newberry and her husband, John. Have I missed any member of the Nichols family? I hope not. Let's give this group a warm round of applause. Holloway, Mr. Mike McCartney and Mrs. McCartney. And then there's one other person that I want to introduce, and that's my wife, Ann. Would you welcome this group? Ronald Tankersley did a great job, and he raised more than enough money to pay for the portrait. In fact, nearly 100 of Bill's friends, many of them here today, contributed to this fund. Mr. Tom Nielsen of Washington, D.C. was asked to paint the portrait, and his work is about to be seen for the first time. Bill, if you will come up and assist me over here, we will unveil your portrait. And I would also like to ask Carolyn if you would come forward and assist us. And Mr. Nielsen, would you join us, please? Yesterday, I also received a letter from William F. Nichols Center that will house the ROTC programs at Auburn University. I know that Bill is extremely proud to have his alma mater dedicate a building that will be used to train future leaders to serve our great country and defend our precious liberties. Bill has expended many long hours. Congressman William.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. President, distinguished friends on the podium, friends all. Some weeks ago, when Vice Chairman of the Auburn Board of Trustees, Henry Stegall, made the surprise announcement at the July meeting of the Board of Trustees that this new ROTC building would be named the William F. Nichols ROTC Center, I was ill prepared to respond. My response was simply that never in my wildest dreams, when I came to Alabama Polytechnic Institute on a football scholarship and elected to continue ROTC beyond the required 2 years at that time, that if anyone had suggested, remotely suggested, that this edifice would be named for me, I would have said such person would be a fit candidate for Bryce Institute. And to use an old country expression, he ought to be bored for the holler horn. First, let me express my deep thanks to a number of people who made this important day in our lives possible. Former teammates on the Auburn athletic field, a few classmates with whom I drilled in the ROTC unit on Old Bullard Field, my roommate in college and retired Army Colonel, Dr. Marion Walker, who made the Army a career, and all who make this a memorable occasion. And then this morning, I would like to express my appreciation to another group in absentia. The lessons I learned from my military instructors have served me well during my service in the military and later in civilian life. Lessons taught through the ROTC program here at Auburn from men like Colonel Armquist, whose son Elmer retired just a year or so back as a Major General, from Captains McKinnon and Jacoby, and Captain Cleppinger, who came back to Auburn to make it his home and whose services I attended just a few months ago in Arlington Cemetery, and Sergeant Fitzpatrick, and Sergeant Moxham, in whose home on South Gay I roomed for almost 3 years in college. It was my privilege to serve with Auburn men in combat during World War II. Men like Major Ralph Jordan, who served with distinction as a combat engineer in the South Pacific. Men like Captain Buddy McMahon, who was killed in action from a direct hit on his tank in desert maneuvers, desert fighting in Africa. Auburn University has had a long and a proud association with the military, going back to the formation of the Auburn Guards, who passed.
All people who have known Congressman Nichols are deeply saddened to learn of his untimely death this morning. Congressman Nichols had served Auburn University as pro tem of our board. He has provided a great deal of leadership for the university. He also, as an alumnus, was interested in the university. As a family man and a former serviceman, Congressman Nichols had served the country and his family with great distinction and pride. And he will be sorely missed by the university, by anyone who's ever gotten to know the gentleman.
For those of us who have followed what has been going on the campus, it seems that any time Auburn has needed him, he seems to have been a true friend of Auburn.
I think that Congressman Nichols was the type of individual that had a great sense of loyalty to the university and a great sense of appreciation for those things that he had accomplished because of what he felt Auburn had done for him, and in giving him the ability to do many of the things that he had done. And that sense of loyalty extended to returning to the university as much as he could to assist the growth and development of the university so that it would serve as a window of opportunity for young people who might come to this institution as it had served for him.
Oh!